lifting cars like they weigh nothing, vanishing into thin air, and even opening portals in broad daylight.
Oh my god! Oh, dude!
These people were captured while breaking the reality. Whether it's raw power or something utterly supernatural, these clips were surely never meant to be seen.
You know that she gets like Olympia.
Alright, well then.
This
Hey
sounds
mom,
pretty nice.
we're doing alright. Doing good.
What do we
Chill
do
out.
today?
Some friends were making a video for their college, talking about their daily lives. It seemed like a normal video at first, until something strange happened in the background. A girl appeared, standing still at first, but then her eyes began to glow as she looked at a boy who had dropped her stuff. The boy, looking confused, picked up the items and handed her a book. And then he did something odd. He slapped himself. As he was under some possession, he seemed completely helpless, unable to stop himself. But as soon as she walked away, it was like he snapped back to normal.
And then
Superhuman girl. Students were on the bus, heading home after a long day. A few moments later, the camera captured two friends arguing with a couple of boys. It looked normal in the beginning, but what happened next? No one could have predicted it. As one of the boys rushed toward them, one of the girls calmly put her hand out in his direction. To everyone's shock, the boy suddenly pulled back and slammed into the bus. Everyone on the bus was left stunned, trying to figure out what had just happened. Even the girl herself had no idea. She was scared, feeling the weight of her newfound power. Having superpowers wasn't as exciting as it seemed. It was terrifying. Supergirl. A strange video appeared online that shook the whole internet. A woman holding a stick was standing alone in the woods, and moments later, she began levitating in the air. It wasn't random, she was controlling it like she had done before. It left the viewers in disbelief. Many believed she had a superpower, and that's why people began calling her Supergirl. But what confused everyone even more was the thought, what if she wasn't the only one? What if there are more like her hiding among us, living normal lives, until the time comes to reveal who they really are? Dark Human.
Hey, look, man, we already called the cops, so you should just go.
These two friends were wandering the city streets when they stumbled upon something strange near the trash cans. It wasn't just garbage. It was a lifeless body, laying there, untouched. The friends froze in shock. No one had reported anything like this. But just as they were processing it, a man dressed in black appeared. He walked up to the body and, without a word, touched it. The next moment, they both vanished, disappearing into thin air. The friends stood frozen, unable to even speak about what had they just seen. The man in black could have been anything, a dark angel or some other supernatural being.
oh, dude!
Powerful girl. This girl was trying to find something that went under the car, came up with the creepiest solution. She lifted the car alone, and that too with one hand. And it didn't stop there. She went to the side and gave it a push. The car drifted like it weighed nothing. Then she calmly pulled out her spray, like nothing strange had happened. For her, it was normal. But now the world knows she has powers, and she's not hiding them anymore. Time traveler. A trail camera in the US was recording the woods when it caught something strange. A man was running through the trees fast, like he was being chased. But then, just like that, he vanished, leaving no trace. People paused the footage and looked closer, and that's when it got weird. A flash showed what looked like a portal opening right in front of him. He didn't hesitate and stepped into it. This became the last sighting of the mysterious man, and since then, no one has reported seeing him. Telekinetic girl. A group of friends was sitting at a cafe, just chatting and laughing. Everything was fine until one of them noticed a glass sliding on its own. A few moments later, the entire table shifted. That's when things got strange. A girl was sitting at the next table, and every time the glass or table moved, her hand moved too, just slightly, but in sync. One friend got scared and raised a glass, maybe to throw it. Before he could, she pointed her hand toward him. He stumbled back and landed on the couch, like something had pushed him. That's when it hit them that she had powers. Some called it psychokinesis, the power to move things with your mind. Superwoman. A couple was walking through the city when they started arguing. Nothing new, it happens. But what happened next was unexpected. The wife kicked him, and the moment her foot touched him, he disappeared. Yes, for real. It was captured from 2 different camera angles, so no one could deny it. She was terrified, as she had no idea what had just happened. It might be a possibility that aliens abducted him, or something even worse took place. Man controlling lightning. Locals were enjoying the cloudy weather when one spotted something strange in the sky. It was a man levitating in the air. But the weirdest part? Lightning was drawn to him, striking around him. Yet he didn't seem affected. He just floated there, calm and still. It was like he had control over the storm, like he was pulling the lightning towards him. No one couldn't believe their eyes, wondering if he had powers beyond imagination. Woman opening portal. While recording traffic, a security camera captured something unexpected. A woman stood calmly on the footpath, but beside her was a strange sight, what appeared to be a portal, just like the one seen in movies. Before anyone could react, something unseen pulled her into the portal. In an instant, she vanished, and the portal closed behind her. The footage left everyone stunned. No one knows where she ended up. Was it another world, another universe, or something entirely different? It remains unsolved till today, with only the footage as evidence of what truly happened. Controlling all living. A video posted online in April 2025 left everyone talking. A man was riding his bike through the desert. Nothing unusual at first. But then, something strange happened. Around him, birds began to circle, flying in perfect unison. But that's not all. Dogs and cats started following him too. Every animal seemed to be moving as if they were all under his control. It was like he was commanding them, and they obeyed without hesitation. Superhuman strength. A local was walking down the street when he noticed something strange. 2 trucks were blocking the road, one trying to move but stuck with no space to get by. Usually, people would wait or try to find another way, but not this guy. In an unbelievable move, he walked up and, using nothing but his bare hands, pulled one of the trucks. Yes, pulled the entire truck and drifted it to the side, clearing the way for the other to pass. The onlookers were stunned. How could a regular person do that? It was as if he had the strength of a fictional world, not a normal human. Caught on CCTV. A local was crossing the road at night when, out of nowhere, 2 cars came speeding toward him, too close to avoid. As he braced himself for the worst, a black figure suddenly appeared. In the blink of an eye, the figure grabbed him and pulled him to the other side of the road, saving him from certain danger. The figure didn't look like anything ordinary. It resembled a superhero, powerful and swift, as if sent to protect him. The local stood stunned, unsure of what had just happened, but grateful for the mysterious savior. Glowing hands. While taking photos of a couple, a cameraman noticed something strange. A local standing just behind them had glowing blue hands, which set him apart from everyone else. As soon as the man realized he was being recorded, fear washed over him. He quickly ran away, but the cameraman chased after him. The man passed by a bus and, in an instant, disappeared, vanishing without a trace. It was almost as if he had some kind of superpowers that no one had ever heard of or seen before. Old legend. A local was walking down the road when he spotted an old woman struggling, her bag lying a few feet away from her. Thinking he should help, he walked toward her, but what he witnessed next still haunts him to this day. The woman calmly pointed her hand at the bag, and to his shock, it moved on its own, floating back to her like magic. He remained in disbelief, unsure of what he had just seen. She might have been someone who knew how to control such powers. Leaf Gatherer. Uploaded online on November 16th, 2021, this video quickly spread across social media, leaving everyone in shock. A student was walking through his campus when he noticed leaves scattered all over the place. Instead of using a rake or his hands to gather them, he did something unexpected. With just a wave of his hands, the leaves started to move in the direction he wanted, as if controlled by an invisible force. He seemed like he knew magic more than people had heard of. It looked like something straight out of a movie, and if he can do that, then there were surely other impossible things he could do. And what if his other videos got online? Ring of Mystery. A security camera on a quiet street was capturing its usual footage when it unexpectedly recorded something unbelievable. Locals were casually walking around, unaware of what was about to happen. Suddenly, a portal appeared out of nowhere, and a man stepped through it without hesitation, moving calmly in his direction, as if nothing unusual had occurred. His lack of surprise made it clear he seemed to know exactly what was happening, but what confused people was whether he was coming from another time or another world. Invisible opponents. It was a scene that left everyone stunned. A homeowner was about to leave his house when something caught his eye. A man outside appeared to be moving back and forth, his body swaying like he was in a violent struggle. It looked as if he was fighting and arguing with an unseen force. The homeowner stood frozen, confused. He didn't see anyone else around, so he assumed the man might be crazy. But as he watched more closely, a thought crossed his mind. What if he was witnessing something he couldn't understand? Maybe it was a spirit he was arguing with, which he couldn't see, but that guy could. Teleportation Girl. This wasn't some sci-fi movie scene. It happened right in the middle of a city in China. A local was out enjoying the night when a woman ran past him. Nothing strange until she got a few meters ahead and vanished. Just like that. Gone. At first, he thought his eyes were playing tricks, but he wasn't the only one. There were plenty of locals around, and they all saw the same thing. A woman ran, and then teleported. That moment didn't just confuse them, it left them speechless. Girl with superpowers. While grocery shopping, a woman was walking down the aisle when she noticed something strange. A shopping cart, moving on its own, was rolling straight toward her, but that wasn't the weird part. Without a second thought, she swiped her hand to the left, and just like that, the cart followed her, moving in the exact direction she pointed. It seemed unreal, but the CCTV camera caught it all. After that day, no one ever saw her again. Maybe she wasn't human at all. Maybe even an otherworldly being with powers beyond anything they could understand. Vanishing Man. A video surfaced online that left everyone in shock. A homeowner was swimming in his backyard pool, enjoying a normal day. Everything seemed fine until he decided to jump over a pool float. As soon as he did, something unbelievable happened, and he just vanished. 1 second he was there, and the next, it was like he was never even there. No one knew where he went or what happened to him. And after that, there was no sign of him. He never returned as he washed out of existence. People disappearing live. You might have heard about it, but you've probably never seen anything like this before. It was a busy airport lounge with people moving around and others waiting for their flights. Everything seemed normal until something completely unexpected happened. A woman was walking through the lounge when, in an instant, she vanished. Her baggage was left behind, but she was nowhere to be seen. People stood frozen, trying to process what they had just witnessed. They had no idea where she ended up. Maybe on another planet, or maybe even worse. But they could only hope that she would come back. Iron Man. A local was out by the lake, enjoying the peaceful view. The sky was clear, the air was calm. But then, he noticed something that didn't belong. High up in the sky, a figure was flying. Not a bird or a plane, but a human. At first, he thought it was a trick of the light. But no, the way he soared through the air, twisting and turning, it was just like watching a superhero. For a few moments then, just as quickly as it appeared, the person flew off into the distance as if he was never there. Real-life Clark Kent. A group of workers showed up at a house to start their day, just like any other. But then, something strange happened. Their van, parked in front of the house, started rolling on its own. The workers stared, wondering how they could stop it. But before they could react, one guy who was standing on top of the van made a move. Without a second thought, he leaped off the van, just like a superhero from the movies. And then, the impossible happened. He landed on the ground and stopped the moving van with nothing but his bare hands. It was clear. This wasn't just a regular worker. He had powers, much like Clark Kent, Superman himself. Reptilian girlfriend. On March 18th, a video surfaced online, one that started as a simple moment between a husband and wife. He was filming her, capturing a memory, but what happened next turned into the most terrifying thing he'd ever recorded. As she turned around, something strange happened. Her tongue shot out of her mouth, long and fast, like a reptile catching prey. It happened so quickly, but the camera caught it. To everyone's shock, the size of her tongue was almost 10 times bigger than any human's. It was enough to make people believe she wasn't human at all. It could be a reptilian creature, something out of a nightmare. Seems impossible. Uploaded on July 18th, 2007, a video shocked people and kept them talking for a long time. In the footage, a local was seen trying to go underneath a car, but he wasn't hiding. He was about to do something unbelievable. With nothing but his bare hands, he lifted the car. It seemed impossible, yet he did it. What made it even more mind-blowing? The video had been online for 17 years, and there was no sign of editing or special effects. It looked real. Many started to wonder, was this man a superhuman? His strength was beyond anything most people could understand. Real Spider-Girl. A girl student was challenged by her friends to reach the 3rd floor of the school, but with a twist, she wasn't allowed to use the stairs. Her friends had no idea she could pull it off, but without hesitation, she walked up to the wall and started climbing. With each jump and grip, she moved up with ease, like a spider scaling a surface. She made it to the 3rd floor in no time. For her, it was effortless, something she did all the time. But her friends? They had no clue. They had no clue that she had the same abilities as a spider when it came to climbing. Fastest man. A footage was uploaded online and quickly caught everyone's attention. And why wouldn't it? A man was seen running in the mountains. Nothing unusual at first, but then you notice his pace. He was running so fast, almost like he was covering 60 miles an hour. Hard to believe, right? But it was true. His speed was something that couldn't be achieved by practice alone. People started to wonder, this man wasn't just fast, he was a superhuman. Who knows how many others like him are out there? Teleporting man. While giving an interview to a news channel, a woman had no clue what was happening behind her. But luckily, it was all caught on camera. Suddenly, a man appeared behind her, stepping out from a portal that was clearly visible in the footage. Something no one could deny. What made it even more shocking? The man acted completely normal, as if he knew exactly what was going on. It seemed like he was the one who opened the portal. Employee with superpowers. A manager was doing his rounds in the office when he heard strange noises coming from one of the rooms. Curious, he went to check. What he saw shocked him. An employee was furious, and with just a gesture, he made the computer move on its own. But that wasn't all. The moment he saw the manager, he quickly waved her hands, and the door slammed shut by itself. That night, the manager couldn't sleep. He realized one of his employees wasn't just any ordinary person. He had powers that were far beyond belief. Flying girl. A mysterious video sent by a viewer showed something that felt straight out of a movie. A man was walking his dog in the forest and casually turned on his phone camera. As he called for his dog, he suddenly noticed something strange. A little girl floating in the air. She stayed suspended for a few seconds, making slow movements before gently landing on the ground. Nearby, a calm woman, likely her mother, watched closely. Once they realized someone was watching, both turned and quickly walked away. The dog couldn't even catch their scent. Fireman. Uploaded on February 6, 2016, this shocking footage from China shows a man collecting a bunch of papers in one place. But for what reason? Moments later, he pointed his hands toward the pile. You might think it was just for fun, but then smoke started pouring out from the paper, and soon after, it caught fire. He set the papers on fire with just his hands. After that, people started calling him the fireman. No one knows how he did it, maybe because of magic. Invisible man. The glass door of a company broke, and to find out who did it, the manager checked the CCTV footage. What he saw next terrified him. Everything seemed normal until suddenly, an unseen force opened the door. There was clearly no one around. Then, out of nowhere, the door slammed shut so hard, it shattered into pieces. That day, the manager decided to leave before something even worse happened. Speedster. A local was walking home on an empty street, unaware that it wasn't as quiet as it seemed. As he made his way down, a transparent, shadowy figure appeared so fast, it hit him with such force that he not only fell, but spun through the air, like a ball. In a split second, the shadow disappeared, leaving him lying there, completely stunned. He had no idea what had just happened, but it sure looked like a spirit or ghost was behind it. Summoning. A couple of friends were walking down the hallway of their high school, one of them dancing and enjoying himself. But what started as fun quickly turned into a scene straight out of a horror movie. Suddenly, out of nowhere, a girl appeared right in front of him, standing in the middle of the hallway. He was shocked. There was no one there just moments before. In the blink of an eye, she was there, almost like a spirit, leaving them both in fear. Superhuman caught on camera. A local was walking down a quiet road at night with no one else around. As he crossed, a car suddenly sped toward him, heading straight for him at full speed. Just as it seemed like the car would hit him, something impossible happened. In the blink of an eye, the man disappeared from the middle of the road and reappeared on the other side. He didn't seem surprised at all, almost as if he had done this before. He might not be from this planet after all. No one on Earth has powers like that. Exceptional child. A seemingly normal 6-year-old stands in front of the camera, her father encouraging her to show off a party trick she recently learned. At first, she giggles, struggling to hold the fork. But on her second try, she grips the metal fork tightly in her hands. With surprising ease, she bends it and snaps it right in front of the camera. Her father is speechless, staring in disbelief. This wasn't a plastic fork, it was real metal. How could a child that small have that kind of strength? Was it a rare burst of energy or something more? One thing is clear, this is no ordinary child. And if she can break things at this age, who knows what she might do when she grows up? Teleporting man. A video appeared online on May 6, 2013 from Russia, showing a man holding a book in the middle of a library. At first, people didn't think much of it, but moments later, the man disappeared right in front of them. It was like something out of a science fiction movie. He had just teleported. The library remained eerily quiet as everyone processed what they had just witnessed. They might not tell what just happened, but no one could deny what they had seen. Man goes through wall. A CCTV camera outside a grocery shop captured an eerie sight one midnight that left people shocked. A man was seen walking toward the shop, but instead of trying to break the lock, he simply passed right through the closed door as if it weren't even there. He entered the shop without opening it. Moments later, he emerged in the same strange manner. His movements looked unnatural, almost like a spirit rather than a human. It left, but the footage remains for the people to see it and think about what exactly they saw. Teleporting man. In October 2016, a video surfaced online that left many people terrified. The footage showed a truck driver cruising along when, out of nowhere, he swerved his truck to the left. He had to avoid something that suddenly appeared on the road. The strange part was that a man materialized right in front of the truck. He didn't move from one side to another. He just appeared there. The driver, visibly startled, fumbled with the controls. The figure didn't seem human. It looked more like a ghost. And that's what many believed. That's exactly what it was. Guardian stranger. It was a quiet day outside a local shop when Serdar Benici, the manager, stepped out for a break. Everything seemed normal until something strange occurred. A man, unknown and silent, casually walked past and lightly tapped him on the shoulder. At first it seemed like a random gesture, but that touch caused him to turn around just in time. In the next second, a white lorry sped past, its metal mesh swinging wildly. CCTV footage showed the lorry missed him by mere millimeters. Had he not moved, it could have been lethal, but when he looked for the stranger, he was gone. No trace, no explanation. But surely he was a guardian angel people only heard about, but never saw it until that video. And now, let us move on to our subscriber pick of the day. You might not believe this until you see it for yourself. A woman was walking down the street, looking completely normal at first. But as she moved ahead, something strange happened. Her face seemed to vanish, disappearing from view as if it wasn't there at all. This wasn't just an illusion. 2 cameras recorded the same thing. At certain moments, her face was completely missing. Locals whispered that anyone who saw her would experience something bad. Just moments later, a bus appeared out of nowhere and crashed right where she had walked moments before. Was this just a strange coincidence, or was something more sinister at play?